Hi, Analisa Six here with the Lady of Leisure and the Sober Curator to bring you the October 2024 horoscope for the zodiac sign of Aries for sun and rising placements. I apologize for the poor video quality. I am recording these in the evening because I can't seem to get my act together and do these videos. And I'm finally just going to power through it and try to keep them on the shorter side to straight to the point. It's already the middle of the month. I'm already behind. Things are what they are. We're just gonna do it. So we're gonna go ahead and just kind of talk about the general theme for you, Aries, as we embark upon October. So we start out every October in Libra season, which is the cardinal air sign of the zodiac. And Libra is exactly opposite Aries in the zodiac. So Libra is considered to be your polar opposite. This would be your half birthday season. For some Aries, this might be a time that you feel not maybe as comfortable because it's all the opposite. You know, Aries is ruled by spring. It represents kind of this like birth into things, whereas Libra energy happens in fall when, you know, we're starting to watch the season change. We're getting out of summer and, you know, it's a shift of energy. The other thing about Aries Libra axis is Aries is all about the self. It's very autonomous, independent, and Libra is about partnership and balance and fairness when we're in situations that require a dual perspective. Aries is all about kind of the like I am, this is what I want, you know, this is my will, power, pushing things forward. Whereas Libra has more to do with how I relate to others, how I respond, and also how I seek, you know, to be more in an equal space with a situation or a person versus just my own desires or wants or needs. So with that said, where a lot of this Libra energy is hitting for the Aries horoscope is your seventh house of relationships. Currently starting out October, I mean, not currently because it's October 12th today, but starting out October, the area of the chart that's really highlighted for you, Aries, is the seventh house, which is the house of relationships and partnerships. And then also your eighth house, which is the house that rules sex, death, rebirth, shared assets and resources, taxes, loans, the occult, all the Scorpio themes. So starting out October, we have the sun in Libra, we have Mercury in Libra, we have the South Node in Libra, and then we have in the eighth house, Venus in Scorpio. Juno is also in Libra in the seventh house. I didn't include that. I don't really talk about Juno in the horoscopes very much. We also have starting out the month Mars in Cancer in the fourth house. And then we have, let's see, Jupiter in the third house of communication and Gemini, Saturn and Neptune are still passing through your 12th house, and Chiron and the North Node are still passing through your first house. Pluto has been retrograde in your 10th house of career. At the beginning of October, one of the big things that happens is we have a eclipse at, let me see what the degree point was on that again, because I have already forgotten. I'm sorry if you guys can hear my dogs. I've got one dog here who's chewing on his cheese, and then my other dog is coughing and farting and is old and having problems. So I apologize in advance for any of the background sounds. October 2nd, we had our new moon solar eclipse at 10 degrees of Libra. So this was happening in your seventh house of relationships. Solar eclipses happen during a new moon. And so the ecliptic is, you know, conjunct with that new moon energy. The moon, the sun, and the nodal axis is all together there. And I'm sorry, I'm getting so distracted by my dog coughing. I think this is another reason why I procrastinate on videos is my environment is so chaotic. It's always noisy outside, living off of the boulevard. I live off Hollywood Boulevard. It's always noisy. My dog is always coughing and farting and having problems. I've got a puppy right here who's brand new and very active. And yeah, I'm chewing on his toys, so I apologize. But solar eclipses, are a time where a portal's opening wherever they're happening, and it's bringing in a lot of new energy and new shifts for us over the coming months. And so for you, Aries, relationships and how you balance things out in a relationship is a big theme. Partnership dynamics. This can be business partnerships. This can be partnerships with close friends. If you've got a best friend, this can also be anybody that you're dating or currently in a relationship with. So that eclipse that happened on the 2nd opened all of that up for you. So there's a lot about, the you versus the we versus the other. And for Aries, learning how to be more focused on what's fair for everybody is a journey for you. I have a lot of Aries in my life. I'm a Leo, and Aries and Leo were like this. I've had so many in my life, and I think a lot of the Aries friends of mine are incredibly giving, thoughtful people. But I think that one of the things about Aries, is being autonomous, being independent, being selfish in healthy and unhealthy ways, being very self-oriented and demanding, kind of, this is what I want, this is how I'm going to go for it. And sometimes it's hard for an Aries dominant person to remember that their actions impact whoever they're with in that moment, whether that's at work or at home. Sometimes Aries, I think, can get a little bit more internally focused and forget, like, okay, your desires and your actions are really impacting everybody around you. And this isn't just about you, like, this is about everybody who's here. And so that can be something that Aries has to, really learn throughout their life, is that balance, of when it's appropriate to be independent and selfish and when it can impact the people that you care about in ways that you don't necessarily intend, but can be negative. And Mercury passing through Libra in this area enables you to communicate with your partner about that, or any partnership, that you're in. Venus and Scorpio in the 8th house also is going to bring up some of that stuff around shared resources, anything financial for you around assets or taxes or loans, anything that you're working through. Venus passing through here is auspicious. It's definitely not a bad energy, but it can, bring up those themes. Mars in the 4th house for the horoscope can definitely bring up issues around dwelling. So this can be a time when you feel a lot of action around your home. Maybe you feel an impulse to relocate, or there can also be conflict in the home with the people that you live with. This can also mean your family. So there can be some tension or challenges with family during this time when Mars is passing through here. I believe Mars is going to be here for the entire month of October. So your home is kind of getting discombobulated, and there's challenges around that. The other kind of shift that we see at the beginning of October around now, I think it's around October 9th, 10th, is Jupiter stations retrograde in the 3rd house. So again, Jupiter in the 3rd house brings growth around how you communicate, how you think about things, how you're learning information, and also how you're disseminating information. It wants you to grow beyond where you've been. So Jupiter retrograde for the rest of the month in your house of communication is forcing you to see different perspectives, maybe, or grow beyond how you've communicated in the past. Let's see. After that, we're going to have, it looks like the next shift of energy is going to be Mercury leaving Libra and entering Scorpio around the 14th. And so when Mercury enters Scorpio, it's going to enter your 8th house. So it's going to join kind of where Venus has been, and Venus and Mercury will be in Scorpio together just for a little bit before Venus moves on into Sagittarius. So Mercury in the 8th house is definitely going to make it possible for you to really communicate effectively in any kind of shared resources dynamic. So if you're living with somebody and you share resources, you're in a partnership where you share financial responsibilities, that's highlighted. Some of the other things that are highlighted are, sex and death and, the occult, the underworld, the subconscious, all of that kind of stuff is a theme around your psyche and how you're perceiving things. Shortly after that, let's see, October 17th is when we have our full moon in your sign of Aries. And then right after that, Venus is going to enter Sagittarius. So The full moon is happening at 24 degrees Aries, and full moons are a time of releasing, letting things go. This full moon is pretty close to Chiron. And so, issues around identity and how you perceive yourself are going to be a big theme because this is happening in your first house of self. So, you might feel like it's a time to release or let go old identity expressions and a time to welcome in new ones. Chiron too wants us to heal any wounds that we're having around that. So that's a theme. When Venus enters Sagittarius shortly after this full moon, it's going to enter your ninth house. Now, Venus here can enable us to really want to go on a trip, a long distance trip. We might want to start a new educational program. We might want to release or publish something into the world. We might want to connect with somebody that lives long distance. We might want to go travel or study abroad, another culture. Venus here really lightens up all ninth house themes when it comes to the way that we want to feel love and connection. And so ninth house Venus often can feel connection through the pursuit of exploration and adventure. So that's a big theme. So if you want to go get out of town or go on a trip, or you feel kind of like this call to get out of the mundane, Venus here is empowering you to want to do that. Let's see here. The sun enters Scorpio on the 22nd after that. So we enter Scorpio season. The sun and Mercury are going to be highlighted together in that eighth house for you. So sex, death, rebirth, taxes, loans, the occult, all of those things that we were talking about, those are all highlighted for you at the end of the month. So those are the major themes. We have a lot more going on astrologically that I talk about in the October astrology forecast. I can't speak. I'm going to try to keep these videos short, but the breakdown is really that you're going to be focusing a lot on family, communication, your home life, relationships are a major theme right now. And then towards the end of the month, you're really going to have kind of a need to get out of the mundane, find some things to kind of spark your wanderlust seeker energy. I'm going to pull a card out of this new tarot deck that just came out by Mary De Lorenzo Woods. I did tarot for her release party at the Whiskey A Go-Go, and I'm just absolutely in love with this deck and thought it would be fun to pull a card for every sign for the month of October. So Aries, this is going to be your card. Oh, this is a great card. We have the Queen of Pentacles. I don't actually recognize. Oh, it's Donna Summer, the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is a really positive card. It means that she's kind of like a diminished version of the Empress. It's a great time to really lean into your money management, your nurturing of self. This feels very Venus in the eighth house to me in terms of, money, building security, building wealth, nurturing your body, your health, doing things that bring you joy in terms of material. So it's pretty cool. Donna Summer's image there. All right, Aries, I will see you guys in November.